Belfast was a boomtown as the 19th century turned into the 20th. But long days and heavy work brought new political demands. Across the UK, Labour candidates were beginning to stand. In Belfast, they polled well. In fact, the Labour movement was so strong here that Belfast played a key role in the birth of the UK Labour Party. 109 years ago, the city hosted a highly significant meeting.
It was in the city of Belfast, in fact, that the Labour Party called itself the Labour Party. Previous to that, it had a name called Labour Representative Committee because it was representing a lot of different organisations. But in Belfast in January 1907, it declared that it was a political party. It was going to fight seats and not just go into coalitions with the Liberal.
But the strong link was soon broken between Labour activists here and the National Party. Nonetheless, the Labour movement continued. Candidates had electoral successes, particularly in the 1920s, the 40s and the early 60s. In places like North, West and East Belfast, they could score upwards of 30% of the vote.
The Labour Party always flourished best when sectarian levels and tensions here were at their lowest. All you need is a home rule crisis, and that knocked out the early days before the First World War. Then the next one was the partition in 1918 really split the Labour movement in Ireland wide open. It was a brief moment of almost unity again in the late 1940s. Republic of Ireland, again that caused problem. Another revival, but the moment the present troubles came, they really couldn't hack it. They found it very, very difficult to find a constituency. People ran to their tribal bases.
For many years, the UK Labour Party resisted requests from people here to be allowed to join. But in 2003, the change was voted through at this conference. The local parties still haven't been allowed to field election candidates. However, they're making a fresh push ahead of the Assembly election. In the Belfast Telegraph today, they highlighted the case they're putting to Labour HQ.
When we look at Northern Ireland politics, what we are faced with is a sectarian stalemate. People are continually expressing their frustration at this stalemate, their frustration at the slow workings of the executive, frustration at the positions taken up by the Stormont parties, and yet when we put forward a proposal to break this stalemate by running cross-community Labour candidates, we find we're blocked and suppressed.
There is a politician who's based in Northern Ireland but sits on the Labour benches at Westminster. Baroness Blood is a life peer. She's one of several hundred people who've signed a petition asking the Labour leadership to allow candidates to run.
I think we should have the opportunity to have proper politics, and it really does annoy me a great lot that we don't have that opportunity. I've been Labour all my life, and I think people should be given that opportunity.
So if the issue's not resolved, would she consider resigning the Labour whip?
That would be something I'd have to think about, but that's a possibility. That is a very strong possibility. And at the moment, I'm the only Northern Ireland Labour Party member in there. So, that would be something I'd have to think about.